Microsoft is winning. Whether you want to admit it or not, they are actually doing some great things and moving industry forward. Yeah, many people don't like this, but they are actually doing great things. And it's weird, right? They don't have the best games. Their exclusives mostly suck. And the ones that are back either are remasters or are okay at best. And they're losing to Sony and Nintendo at this front. They still haven't announced the mid-generation upgrade to their Xbox. And they're even releasing their exclusive games on PlayStation. So how the hell they're winning? Let me tell you how. They realize where they're making mistakes and they're trying to fix those. And yeah, they have a lot of big mistakes. First things first, Microsoft actually realized what's been happening on the market. And what's most important, they realized where the money is going. And they saw it with none other's help than with Steam. You see, they realized that actual money that can be made is not coming from, well, publishing exclusive games and owning a console and a platform. They realized that money comes from owning a store. Not the land where the store stands, but an actual store. It really doesn't matter whether you release the game on Xbox, on PlayStation, or on PC. If they're buying the game from you, you are making the money. Steam realized that, and they made the Steam store, and you saw what they become. It's a huge moneymaker. So much so that they even made their own platform and their own OS. Even though it's not fully their own, it's still based on Linux, but still, it's their own OS. So how Microsoft decided to change this, instead of making their new console, which they actually worked on, and rumors actually show that they were quite far ahead in development of their own handheld console, they decided to not go with it and instead focus on the market that they already kind of control, but they're not really paying really big attention to, and it's a PC market. The absolute majority, a gigantic share of this market is controlled by Microsoft because they own Windows. You install your games on Windows, but they are not making a single cent from it because they're not selling you those games. So what they decided instead, they decided to make an actual PCs. Well, but selling PCs is not a good idea. So they went to the next best thing that was pioneered just recently by none other than Steam, and it is going handheld. Handheld PCs are not a new thing, but Steam actually showed and revolutionized and showed everyone that it can be profitable too. Steam wants you to buy games from Steam, and they just decided to take away the barrier, which is actually owning a Windows-based machine, and just gave you something that is much more efficient, much faster, and much better at playing Steam games specifically. And Microsoft actually saw this, and they are absolutely right by actually paying attention to that. The biggest part of the market, the biggest part of the handheld market is controlled by Windows devices. And even the devices like this one, like this Lenovo Legion Go, originally comes pre-installed with Windows. But you see, Windows is not made for the handheld consoles, and nothing handheld, to be fair. Windows usually even sucks on laptop as well because they have a bunch of bloat and they're not really good at controlling the performance of the device. So what is the best thing that you can do with handheld devices like this one? Install SteamOS on this. I installed SteamOS on this Lenovo Legion Go, and it transformed into something much more powerful and much more, well, handheld. I need much less power on this device, even though I can have the same amount of performance. They saw this. Microsoft saw this. They saw their collaboration, the Steam's collaboration with Lenovo, and releasing the handheld consoles with SteamOS pre-installed, and they wanted the same share from this. And to do this, to solve this, they actually decided to make, well, something that is a bit different, which is in this case an Xbox ROG Ally. So they basically took their Windows operating system, took away all the bloat, and transforming it something like SteamOS, and just pack it with your game, and just pack it with already existing handheld hardware, and just selling it to you. And well, they don't need to own a platform, they don't need to own a hardware, and they still own the platform, but they don't own a hardware, and they can still sell you the games directly and mostly make money from none other than Game Pass. Microsoft is making a huge amount of money on Game Pass. That's why they don't give a damn about exclusivity anymore. They have tens of millions of people on Game Pass Xbox and on Game Pass PC, and they're making a huge amount of money from it. Much more than they would from individual gamers. Like, as an example, I once bought the game on Microsoft Store. Just once. Only one single game. I think it was Forza Horizon 3, if I'm not wrong. But I've been the Game Pass Ultimate subscriber for a few years now. The money that I gave to Microsoft, that I would never give them without it. It's not that I'm even downloading and playing all the games. I just pay for it. I have it on my Xbox and I have it on my PC, and I'm loving it. And I don't mind paying $20 every single month. And they know that there are tens of millions of people who are doing exactly the same thing. So what's the next best thing? Is just to give them this ability right on the handheld. Usually the SteamOS consoles have issues with running Game Pass because yeah, it's not really native and you're not running Windows, so you're running Linux. So the only good way, the best way to play the Game Pass games is to have a Windows machine, which sucks, which barely able to run for an hour on pretty good games. So instead, well, now you can buy an Xbox branded machine and actually have all your Xbox games and all your PC games right then and there handheld. How powerful is that? I'm pretty sure that Sony is also working on their handheld console as well, but their handheld console will be a console just like PSP or PS Vita, most likely. So they will be locked in their ecosystems, while Xbox ROG Ally will not, because they have a PC ecosystem, which is good place for anyone and everyone. And with recent update from Sony, by the way, which was big win for both Sony and for both PC gamers, is that they actually lifted all the original restrictions from the games that do not have, from the countries that do not have a PSN. Like for example, right now, I can actually play God of War Ragnarok, which was not available in my country, and on a PC. So I can actually play a PlayStation game on an Xbox console. Well, technically Xbox console. And what's most important is that they actually even have choices between the different tiers of the device, which is always good. And what's even better is that they can easily upgrade their devices really soon, just in a few years time, and have the most up-to-date consoles and powerhouses anytime they want, and not wait for 7, 8, 9, 10 years to just release the new consoles. And I think that is the future. I think the future is that we're all moving towards a PC-like infrastructure where the consoles will be actually, well, modified PCs, and everything will be dictated by the storefronts, not by the platforms. And yeah, I think that will be a correct decision, because that is where money lies, and money is, well, main reason to have business. So yeah, I think this is the future that we'll see. And yeah, good job for Microsoft. And all we need to see is to see how these consoles will perform when they will release. Yeah, this is for Dave. Don't forget to subscribe if you like the channel. Check out these videos right here, because I'm pretty sure you will enjoy them. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Take care.